Hello. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Patrick Cunningham. As the CEO of Manning & Napier Advisors, I'm honored to usher you through 4 decades of our history and growth. 40 years ago, the paths of 2 upstate New York natives crossed. Bill Manning and Bill Napier, both veterans of the financial services industry, partnered in April of 1970 as Manning & Napier, and they began traveling the New York State Thruway for potential clients. By market standards, it was a dangerous time to start an investment management firm. An overpriced market combined with the end of the gold standard, price and wage controls, and a rise in inflation led to a 2-year bear market during which stocks lost nearly half their value. For reasons that continued to define what Manning & Napier is today, the firm survived the 73-74 bear market and several other turbulent environments over the next 40 years. In that time, stock selection strategies were developed and refined, infrastructure was built, and the firm grew to more than $25 billion in assets under management. During this 40th year of our history, we invite you to look back with us on the key attributes that have allowed our clients to prosper and our firm to grow. 4 decades of experience, the foresight to build a firm that could stand the test of time, loyal clients, and dedicated employees. All have played a significant role in the success of Manning & Napier. In 1970, Bill Manning and Bill Napier joined forces to fill a gap they saw for an active money management firm in upstate New York. Early on, Bill Manning took on responsibility for the investment process, while Bill Napier emerged as a natural choice for client service.
Once we established a relationship, Bill was in charge of managing it after we put the business on the books. Matter of fact, we drew straws, I like to say, somewhat in jest, but we drew straws because we started as a partnership, but we had to have someone responsible, for what was going on in the firm. And so I got the short straw and became the CEO, and Bill got to be the executive vice president.
Our performance during the 1973-1974 bear market allowed us to begin building credibility, and by the end of our first full decade in business, we grew our assets under management to more than $150 million. By the end of 1983, the firm reached $1 billion in assets under management. By the mid-1980s, we were once again concerned about valuation levels in the stock market. Our focus on pricing and active asset allocation resulted in significant protection of client assets during the 1987 bear market. And our results during this time became the proof statement for our approach to active asset allocation.
When market events like 1987 come along, or some of the things we've seen subsequent to that, is very traumatic for people in the market. One of the toughest things for people to make money in the market is not to do the wrong thing at the wrong time. So if you're involved in a situation like that, it's very easy to panic out at the bottom of the market. So you need someone who has, basically eliminated your chances of panicking at the bottom by doing, what now we call risk management. I guess back then we just called it prudent investing.
Sadly, the early 1990s started off with the passing of our co-founder, Bill Napier. Over the years, Bill has been remembered by coworkers and clients as generous, family-oriented, and passionate about the firm's responsibility to its clients.
One of the great lessons that I learned from Bill Napier was that managing money for people is a personal responsibility. And Bill Manning always stressed that a great deal as well, and I think over time that's become steeped into the ethos of the firm.
From a market perspective, the 1990s were a time of unprecedented growth. Manning & Napier's assets under management doubled from roughly $3.5 billion at the end of the 1980s to just under $7 billion at the end of 1999. But the decade had its share of problems and was largely one in which our focus on price put us at a disadvantage relative to our peers.
It was during this time in the 96, 97, 98 period when tech was running that you were getting a lot of pressure externally asking about Manning & Napier possibly having missed the boat. Right? Maybe we weren't thinking about the world the way we should be thinking about it. Instead of capitulating to the pressure that was out there, we actually pushed back and said, no, we're going to stick with what we're doing and assure our clients that we will not change what we do.
The decade that began with Y2K would go down as the lost decade for a generation of investors, which included two of the worst bear markets. The decade started on a positive note for our clients, having weathered the bear market of 2000 to 2002 thanks to the disciplines exercised in the late 1990s. Like many investment advisors, we struggled to smoothly navigate the turmoil in 2007, 2008, and early 2009. We maintained our active, price-conscious approach, made decisions based on investment fundamentals rather than investor emotion, and continued to invest client assets in line with long-term objectives. Our discipline once again paid off as client accounts were well poised to participate in the significant market recovery that began in early 2009.
The last 10 years have been tough for almost every investor. It's been historically the most difficult environment we've ever seen. I think one thing that's been interesting is these are real people, real groups, endowments, and foundations trying to do real things. So it's been a challenging environment for them. I'm very proud of the fact that Manning & Napier's clients have fared far better than most in this environment and have been able to maintain their investment programs and meet their obligations. So we're very proud of that.
From the beginning, the co-founders of Manning & Napier exhibited a degree of foresight that is unusual in the investment management business. While the formation of investment strategies was important, we viewed the need for repeatable processes to permeate the entire business, not just the investment strategies. We developed infrastructure that would not only make the firm successful, but would make that success repeatable and the firm sustainable.
The brilliance of Bill Manning isn't just his investment acumen. His brilliance really comes from thinking about investing in a more disciplined and process-oriented way. So very early on, instead of making the firm all about him and his calls, his investment decisions, he set up different disciplines and process and structure to allow sustainability of the business.
By the mid-1990s, we felt so strongly about the importance of process, we made the decision to have our investment process audited by an outside firm.
There are very, very few firms in the business that would invite an outsider in to monitor what they do. I think that's important for us, not just for the clients. It's important for us to know whether or not we are actually doing what we tell people we do. To make sure that what we communicate to clients is very consistent with everything that we do inside this firm on their behalf. I think we have an obligation to do that.
Foresight was also evident in our product development efforts over the years. One of our proudest accomplishments has been our industry-leading position in meeting the needs of employees that are tasked with managing their own retirement assets.
Making investment decisions is actually a very complex task. And yet for 401k plans, employees for many, many years were expected to become masters of asset allocation. They were expected to know should they pick large cap stocks, small cap stocks, international stock funds, bond funds. I mean, they were supposed to be virtual investment managers. We came along and we said that's not fair. And so we came up with an approach that allowed individuals to pick their objectives, which they understand, they can do that, and then delegate the asset allocation decision under changing market conditions to investment professionals. And so we offered the first life cycle options for 401k plans in 1988. In 1993, we were cited by the industry trade rag, Pensions and Investments, as leading the life cycle pack, which, by the way, was not hard to do back then because we were virtually the pack. We were virtually it. Today, life cycle options are the default options for 401k plans, and they are now commonly held standards of investment menus for 401k plans. But when we started, people really didn't even understand what they were.
Manning & Napier simply would not exist without the confidence and loyalty of our clients. Client service has been a cornerstone of our investment offerings since the firm opened its doors. From Bill Napier's role in the early years to an 80-person strong client service department today, we recognize that service is a key aspect of results.
The client comes first, I think most of our investment offerings, most of the services that we have at Manning & Napier really are the result of needs of clients or questions that our clients came to us with. So to me, I think the client really drives everything we have and offer at Manning & Napier.
Today, Bill Napier's legacy still lives on at Manning & Napier in many ways. His true legacy, however, is best reflected in Manning & Napier's commitment to providing the highest level of service to our clients.
People often would say that my dad had a talent or a gift to talk to the client in a way that made them comfortable.
Bill Napier set the standard for client service.
The client's well-being was always his #1 concern.
I know a lot of our attitude and our approach, especially in servicing our clients, stems directly back to Bill Napier's passion to take care of the clients. The clients were always first and foremost in his mind.
As a client myself now, I mean, I appreciate the fact that there are people here that still carry on that legacy.
Manning & Napier has always had a strong focus on developing good people for the future benefit of the firm. A team-based approach goes a long way towards ensuring stability of process and management, but at the end of the day, the people chosen to lead the way are what truly matter.
Manning & Napier is a very interesting and dynamic firm, and it's a firm that you can come in and really find your passion and pursue it very strongly. I think that we've had a lot of employees start off really at very low entry-level positions, but we've given them opportunities to grow and to shine. And when you think about some of the executives that we have who have been here for years and years, they really grew with the firm, contributing more, taking advantage of the opportunities that the firm was able to pursue and pushing the limits of what the firm could do.
There is a tenacity in the employees, a willingness to give. At the same time, there's a fun-loving streak. You know, we've got a lot of strong individuals here, so it made the culture and environment a lot of fun. I think because people spend a lot of time here, there are really strong bonds between employees.
For 40 years, Manning & Napier has made helping clients meet their investment management needs its #1 priority. As we look ahead, we will remain committed to our time-tested investment process. However, we recognize that the future is never exactly like the past. In fact, it is usually very different. For that reason, we continually look for ways to improve our process and enhance our results.
Whatever we have done, whatever we're doing today, it's not good enough for tomorrow.
We are not willing to sit still. We're not willing to continue to just do what we've been doing for the last 40 years and expect that that's going to create success for the next 40 years.
We are very proud to work with individuals and institutions like yourselves. Many of you have had a relationship with Manning & Napier for decades. In conclusion, on behalf of all of us at Manning & Napier, I want to thank you for your business and your confidence. We look forward to serving you for many years to come.